Hi. So I guess it said we're now live. I'm taking the front, or the intro part, or I don't even know, like being the first one here. I guess that's kind of what I'm doing today. So just kind of hanging out, hoping you guys are all having a great Thursday. While I wait for everybody to come on in and join us. Okay, we'll see if I can do it. That'll always be the fun part. Okay. Let's see. I'm hitting, there we go. Accept and accept. I think I'm gonna get Kelly first. We're super excited to talk to these guys. Hi, Kelly. I haven't met you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm
Hi,
sitting here
Michelle.
trying to get Kate in. Also, she's going to yell at me to put my earphones in, so I'm going to saw you with yours, so I'm going to
Yeah,
do
I
that.
usually do like these ones. They work better for lives
Oh, I know.
as opposed to the buds, right?
Yeah, I'm not a Bud fan.
Yeah.
And there's Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Yay!
That was so much fun to watch you try to
Watch me be awkward. Thank you.
It's always
No,
hard at the beginning.
it's good training for you, Mom.
Oh, thanks.
You're
So
welcome.
I have to say right off the bat, Kelly, do you and your sister like play off of each other? Like Kate makes fun of me or makes me do things where I'm awkward. Do you guys do
Yeah,
that too?
yeah. So yeah, me and Megan's the oldest. So she is more of the I'm more of the comic relief. Yeah.
Okay.
So Megan's more of the organized one. I'm more of the creative comic relief.
Funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I don't know that I'm either of those things. I'm definitely the older one, but other than that, I don't got you on any of the others.
Well, my parents would never know how to get on a live. So they would never be able to do it. So,
Yeah,
so you're
she's
ahead
learned.
you're
She's
ahead.
learned a lot.
I have learned a lot.
And only now it's only once every 2 weeks where you throw the phone and want to quit social media. And
Yeah, it used to be every day. So yeah, it's an improvement.
I'm there a lot of times too, for
yeah,
different reasons, probably,
wow,
but
it's a
Well,
lot.
it
yeah.
is a lot, right?
Well, we're super excited to talk to you today.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be
Yeah.
here, and I hope I can share some really exciting stuff about adaptogens and lend support to the community. And I'm just happy to answer questions and share a little bit about our story.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
awesome. I'm gonna let Kate take the lead because she's really good at it, and I'm still the awkward one. So
I'm
go.
okay. Well, okay. Well, why don't we just start with your background and do like a little introduction to you and your company and
Yeah.
how you got to where you are.
Awesome. I thought my dog was like sneaking out behind me. I just put him in the house and I was like, did he get out? And he's going to start making noise behind us. So I am Kelly. I am the CEO and co-founder of Adash. Adash is a functional wellness company, and the story behind how we got to where we are today is pretty long. But what we do is Adash, and our goal is really to simplify wellness by incorporating it into everyday ingredients. So for us, the biggest goal is really to make wellness convenient, accessible, and tasty for everyone in order for you to upgrade your life without having to put any barriers to entry to anybody. So cost is important for us. Creating products that have therapeutic dosages, highest quality ingredients, and making sure that they're addressing certain needs is very important to us. And putting it in a package that is easy for everyone to take is paramount to us, because I'm someone who struggles taking supplements. I know a lot of people struggle with that as well, either remembering them to take them or actually swallowing them is difficult for me too. And I know a lot of people are the same way. So that was kind of the start of the company, is putting a product out there that can really apply to everybody, that they can use every single day to make their life better. And long story short of how Adash got started was I dealt with severe postpartum depression and anxiety, struggled for a really long time, started seeing my regular OBGYN, my PCP, and wasn't getting a lot of answers or a lot of help. So my labs are coming back normal for everything they were running, and I was still feeling terrible. So on my husband's push, I went to see a functional medicine doctor to get to the root cause of what was causing me so much stress, so much anxiety, and look at holistic ways to heal myself as well. So I like to say Dr. Kelly Sims in Chicago is a godsend, because she's the first person who introduced me to really holistic practices in wellness. So had been in sports and nutrition, played soccer my entire life, and understood the fitness part of the journey, but wasn't really in tune with any sort of mindfulness, any sort of holistic medicine, nutrition. I'm someone that used to go play soccer and would get McDonald's afterwards. So it was something like I knew the benefits of exercise and health, but I was not in tune with my body at all in terms of what nutrition was. So meeting with her and starting to focus on mindfulness, how you move your body, things you can do to focus on de-stress, and then incorporating adaptogens into my routine is what really put me on a path to wellness and to recovery. So for about 3 years, I started making these drinks for myself at home. And Megan, my sister, who's also my co-founder, was really the one that pushed me into creating a company. So I've had a passion for holistic wellness for about the last 5 years, have done a lot of research into formulating products, what they do, what adaptogens and herbs can help cure you, and what use cases they have. And really the impetus to starting the company was moving into the pandemic and everything that was happening with COVID-19, and providing a product that could help more people. So it became it was my personal product that I used to help myself, and Megan helped to become a vehicle for change for us to really help the community.
Amazing.
Wow,
I love
that's really
that.
amazing.
I relate to so many parts of your story.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes.
if it was a different voice, I would be like, "Oh, is Kate talking?"
Yeah. And I think it's really hard.
The baking coffee thing.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because especially when you're a first time mom and a lot of your friends have struggled in the same way, and there hasn't been, and my son's 5 now. So this is, a little bit removed from the story where a lot more people are sharing now about postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, but it wasn't really part of the conversation on a larger scale back then. Maybe postpartum depression, but really the anxiety, intrusive thoughts, hormonal health was not a big part of the conversation. So for me, that was like starting this journey and looking at holistic health and trying to help more women, especially women who are postpartum and feel alone or feel like they're being told that it's normal to feel this way, is what really is our biggest mission and purpose, is that, motherhood is beautiful and everybody deals with stress and anxiety, and but you're not supposed to feel bad every single day. You're not supposed to be tired waking up every single day. Not every part of your day should be filled with anxiety and stress, and that's what my life was for over a year. And I know that it impacts starting this community and starting this brand. Like, the more that we get out and talk about it, the more that every day I share the story, I have a woman that relates to it as a first time mom, second time mom, anyone who's gone through that experience. It's like, yeah, I felt pretty alone in it until I found your brand or your story, or just other people online that have shared and are doing like you guys are, to really help women heal.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. You brought up like that. One of the things you said, that's this part of our mission, is that we always say being a mom is not a diagnosis.
Yes.
And
yes.
that is like what's been normalized. It's like, if you say anything about how you're feeling, they're like, oh, well, you're just a mom. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, and then you start to feel like, great, is this just my life now?
Yeah.
Like, is this can't be it. Like, and I was my pregnancy was unplanned, but I wanted kids. And so it was a real like bummer, for lack of a better word, when I was like, is this really motherhood? And it's not. I mean, more obviously we know, coming out of it, but there's a lot of women out there that aren't seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and mainly because they're just being told, well, that's motherhood. And it's
I think that's what is like the biggest and most exciting part of what you're doing and what other people in the space are doing, is like, this isn't what it's supposed to be. Like, just because you have a new baby, you're not supposed to feel this stress, this anxious, this worried, and this tired every day. And that doesn't need to be your life. There's a lot of work to get you not there, but it's not what it's supposed to be, even if your labs say that they're normal.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've struggled. I mean, it's like that's kind of across the board, not even just in postpartum. I mean, that's a message that women hear constantly, you know, about, oh, well, everything's fine. You know, which really means it's all in your head. So just go get over yourself. You know, so
I think that's what's exciting as the conversation gets more about mental health and holistic health, is that people are actually starting to listen to their bodies more than just like, you know, reading something online or getting a test and everything says it's normal. It's like, if you're listening to your body and getting more in touch with your health overall, you know that's not normal. You should be able to sleep. You shouldn't be up all night. You shouldn't feel tired every morning. You shouldn't feel like you are just surviving. You should feel like you're able to thrive, right?
Right, exactly. Well, we'll segue into a little bit more about adaptogens in particular. I mean, I love adaptogens. I always said, like, if I could go do it all over, and maybe I will. I'm 32, so I got time. But like, I would totally go be an herbalist and do all the things. I think it's all super exciting and fun. But I am curious. I mean, me and my mom know a lot about your products because they all kind of have a foot in Charleston, which is pretty cool. But curious, like, if you can just talk a little bit about like your concoction, like what adaptogens you're using, why you're using them. Maybe we should start with, just in case there are people that watch that don't even know what adaptogens are.
So we'll get started with what adaptogens are and why we use them and why we use them in the way that we use them. So adaptogens are a class of super herbs and mushrooms. So you're looking at plants or fungi. Typically, there's some debate between herbalists and functional medicine doctors of like, are there 9 classified adaptogens? Are there 12? Are there a little more than that? But if you look and you kind of go back to the root of what they are, they've been used in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, and Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. And what they do is they work within the endocrine system. So mainly your hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal, which all sounds like, you know, you guys all know, very medical, but really it's within your fight or flight. So this deals within your stress response. So these plants are used to help your body adapt to stressors, which is how they got their name. So when we look at them, we are looking at ones that help you bring your body into balance or homeostasis. And that's really the whole goal of functional medicine, is to bring your body back into balance. So for us, our whole goal is looking at things that, what is a therapeutic dosage that has some clinical research behind it. Adaptogens have been used for thousands of years, but there hasn't been a ton done in Western medicine in terms of clinical studies up until like the last 15 or 20 years. So we try and look at adaptogens. Not only do we know a lot of them have great use cases and have benefits for the body, but we want to make sure that there's scientific data behind it in order to make sure that we're giving our customers the best information for them to be empowered with their health. So for me, what I started and kind of dove into adaptogens when I found functional medicine and was working with a naturopathic practitioner was ashwagandha, which I like to refer to as the queen of adaptogens. It's the one that really helps bring balance and reduce your cortisol, bring your stress levels down, and really help you live a balanced life. So that was the first one that I started taking and learning about. And I did a blend of adaptogens when I was doing my hormonal health and repairing that with the doctor. So ashwagandha was one. I used maca root, which if anyone's familiar with that as well, it's one that's used a lot in fertility as well as just hormonal health and support there. And then the other one that I used was rhodiola, which is another classified adaptogen that's been known to not only as an antibacterial and antiseptic, but it's also known to help bring stress and balance into your life. So adaptogens are really used as a way to help bring your body back into its natural state. And that's what our whole goal with functional wellness is, to make you feel your best. And really, our bodies are beautiful and we're designed to be great, and we just want to get them back to where they should be. So that's how I started, and I started diving into adaptogens and learning about them. Really, number one, ashwagandha, because that was the one that had the biggest impact for me, what I was dealing with in my hormonal journey and my postpartum journey. And so for us, that's what we wanted to start with because it has the most research behind it. So I was using ashwagandha daily as smoothies before I was traveling a lot. once I started traveling a lot and we moved to Tennessee, I started incorporating it more into drinks I would bring on the road. So that's when the ashwagandha infused cold brew started. So a dash and our hero product is our adaptogenic cold brew that we infuse with a therapeutic dosage of ashwagandha. So the way that we've really helped to do this is like we're replacing a supplementation that you use, but also designing a drink that gives you a kick of caffeine without any of the jitters or crash. So we're not spiking your cortisol way up and then like bringing it down with an adaptogenic herb. We're giving you lower caffeine that's a balanced product that has a therapeutic dosage of ashwagandha in order to support people who live a hectic life, are feeling stressed, and want a way to be able to effectively take adaptogens every single day. So that's kind of really how we got started on the product. But there's a lot going on around like adaptogens. We're seeing a lot more in marketing. And for us, the biggest part of a dash is the transparency, the authenticity behind the story, and also the product. So we do have third-party testings. We have certificate of analysis from all of our suppliers. We make sure that we are within the recommended dosage based on clinical studies, and that we share as much education about what adaptogens are, how to use them, and why we're using them. It's for us not just something that's like, oh, another marketing thing that you can add onto a product. Our goal is the beverages and what we're creating are the vehicles to actually deliver these functional ingredients to everybody.
I love that. And I think that's so important what you said, because adaptogens are becoming, I think, like holistic too. It's becoming like a trend word. And same with any supplement. I mean, there's just, I would say 99% of it's crap. There's the 1% that's good. And it's so important. I hope everybody listening hears something that you just said was you do third-party testing. And that's super important whenever you're looking for any supplement or anything like that, because, you know, the FDA doesn't regulate what's inside anything. They do as far as facility, but like where things are being prepared. But you want that third party certification to know that it's quality. And also a lot of people just use adaptogens as a marketing word that there isn't that therapeutic dose. And then it kind of loses its, like, people are like, oh, well, this is again just woo woo, and these people are
because it doesn't work. I mean, it's also you know, people, oh, I took it once and it doesn't work, and it's like, well, there's many factors to why. But I would also caution people too, if you're going to look for things like that, along with that third-party testing, ask the company if you can see it. There should be transparency. You should have that available, you know. And if you don't, that's a red flag to me. You know?
And that's something really important to us too, because as it has started to move into people are interested in adaptogens, are trying to look at holistic health and healing themselves. There's been a ton of products like ours and CPG products that are coming in that do make it more accessible and great for more people to be empowered to take control of their own health and start using these products. But there's also a lack of transparency in the industry about, you know, dosage, what people are using, where they're getting these products from, why they're including them in these formulations. So for us, the most important thing is to always be transparent, to always share, you know, why we're using adaptogens, what they do for you, and what's the best way for you to incorporate them into your routine, as well as other healthy practices. Because adaptogens or any supplement or medicine is not a cure-all. If you are not taking care of yourself, not sleeping, not moving your body, and you're just drinking a cold brew coffee with adaptogens every day, it's not it's not gonna fix what the root cause of the problem is. Like, I love to look at supplements, herbs, adaptogens in particular, as a tool within your wellness tool belt in order to help yourself get to your most optimal state. But if you're just using these products as a way to Band-Aid a problem that you're having, it's really not a real solution, and it's not going to have the overall effect that you really want it to.
So when you were first like starting to incorporate ashwagandha, let's use ashwagandha, into your routine, like, what form did you use? Were you like, did you go get the mushroom, or what? How did you?
So when I first started using them, I was working with a functional doctor. So I was using full script and using a lot of, I think I had I'm trying to think back to the brand that I use now, but it was capsule. And for me,
Yeah.
I hated that because I didn't like capsules. I was taking them because I knew like the benefits, and I knew that these were all third party testing, and they had great research and support behind them. But for me, I always struggled to, I would break capsules apart a lot of time and like put them in stuff, water, shoot it, put it in my smoothie and try and use it that way. So for a while I used it that way. And then I started looking at suppliers and buying them that had, you know, third party testing and quality behind them that they would share, kind of bulk wholesale that I would actually, that I would purchase from people from different herbal suppliers or online, and just kind of doing research and adding them into my own concoctions. So it was really a brand and idea that was born in the kitchen. I started tinkering around with the ones that worked best for me, and started really diving down into the rabbit hole of, I don't know how many functional medicine, herbal, or like herbal dictionaries and encyclopedias that I've read now. I'm reading a couple more right now. So for me, it's like I like to say I'm like a perpetual student. I think I should have always been a student or a professor or something, just so I could continue to read and learn about things. But that started my journey, was the capsules that I was getting via a practitioner. And then I started doing my own research and finding credible wholesalers that would sell me the powders in bulk, and I would use them differently, however I wanted to, within most of the time smoothies. That was my vehicle of choice at the time.
So when did coffee come into play, and like why did we go down that?
Yeah. So for a while, when I was having really severe adrenal issues, when I first started working with my doctor, I wasn't drinking coffee at all because I wanted to take time to let my body heal and get my adrenal health and my cortisol levels back to normal. So I was someone who was doing, and I'm not sure if you guys do this or any of your followers do this, I did have like the dandy root tea that I substituted for coffee for probably about 6 months. But I love coffee. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Not just like the ritual of doing it in the morning. I love the taste of coffee. So after my labs that I'd been working on with her for about a year were back to normal, and I felt comfortable to start incorporating coffee back in, where I had all the tools that I'd already put into place to get my levels to optimal health. I started allowing myself to put coffee back into my morning routine. And for me, it started as make sure that you're using the highest quality. So always organic coffee. I think a lot of people think they struggle with coffee a lot of times because, number one, if they do have a hormonal health issue or adrenal health issue, it's not the best to be having any caffeine at all until you heal that. But a lot of people are having more conventionally farmed coffee, which there is a high incidence of mycotoxins in there. There is mold if you're getting conventional coffee. So that could be part of the reaction that you're getting if you drink coffee and it's conventional. Your body could be reacting to that anti-inflammatory, the inflammatories that you're getting from coffee that may have mold in it, or tea as well. They both, in the large scale conventional operations, typically are tested, and if they're tested, they usually have mold in them. So about a year after I had my son, or a year after I started seeing my doctors, when I started incorporating coffee back into it. Started as a morning routine, was still trying to be a cautious consumer of coffee and not drink too much caffeine, because I did used to be someone that would have, 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee a day. So now I'm someone who's more like a 2 cup a day, one in the morning for ritual, and then in a dash like in the afternoon to bring balance and get some more caffeine and a little kick in the afternoon. But the coffee really started when I moved down to Tennessee. So I was living up in Chicago, and I got a promotion through my work to move down to Tennessee and manage the state for them. So I started going from just based in Chicago and working around in Chicago to the entire state of Tennessee, which I didn't really realize until I moved here how large it was. So you look on a map and Tennessee seems pretty small. It's pretty narrow, but it's very long. So from Memphis, which is what, my distributors and partners that I worked with were based in Memphis, Chattanooga, Nashville, and Maryville, and then one out in Bristol, Tennessee. So Bristol to Memphis is about 7.5, 8.5 hours. So it's a pretty long state. So I was spending a lot of time on the road. And for me, when I was at a hotel or when I was traveling, driving 3 or 4 hours to different customers, the easiest way to get all my adaptogens in was coffee, because I wasn't bringing a smoothie on the road. It was easy to get anywhere. You could stop at a gas station, you could stop at a truck stop, you could stop at a Starbucks or wherever and find coffee pretty easily, as opposed to when I was doing it at home and using smoothies that I had to make at home. So it was really kind of born of convenience. And then when we started looking at to manufacture it and commercialize what I was doing, a lot more about the benefits of coffee and caffeine and what they can do, especially if you're using good suppliers that it's organic coffee and fair trade, which we do as well, as you can help support the economy down there. And you can also add a lot to your routine and your nutrition. Sadly, the largest source of antioxidants in the standard American diet is coffee. So for us, we know a lot of people are drinking coffee, the second most consumed beverage worldwide now besides water. So we decided, it's something that fit into our story, but it's also something that a lot of people are using daily. So we wanted to remove all the barriers to success for people to be able to use their supplements or get that supplementation without anything in their way. And that's really how the idea went from my car, we'll say. It really was born in my car, from kitchen in Chicago to really started in my car in Tennessee. And then that's how we decided to really go forward and use it as a vehicle for change and to support the community to have it widely available that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, we say that the aha moment was really born at a truck stop when I was going to one of the pilot gas stations. I'm a truck stop girl, and I'm on the road. I like to go to see what's available at a truck stop, and it was a pilot outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, where I was stopping to get a coffee, and the options were honestly terrible. I was like, I'll just trying to get like a black canned coffee, and it was, they had the Starbucks Frappuccinos, which had just terrible ingredients, so much sugar, all the seed oils, all the stuff that I was not trying to bring into my diet. And then I saw a Stoke cold brew, which I'm like, oh, it's a protein coffee. This might be great. So I turn it around. It's still 25 grams of added sugar that they're putting into it. So it was also, we want to have a vehicle for delivering the supplements, but we also want to have something that is removing some of the sugar from our diet, because we know that sugar sweetened beverages are one of the largest contributing factors to obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease over the last 100 years in the US. And I think people are more aware of sugar added into food, and not as many people look at their beverages still. I think that's one that sneaks up on people because they are especially healthy beverages. People are drinking, especially like Gatorade or some of those things that they think are really helpful in their or energy drinks that they're using as a pre-workout, and you look at the ingredients sometimes and you're like, it's hard because people think they're doing these great things for their health and they're actually hurting themselves when they're consuming these so much on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, that's so true. It's so true. And it is hard, because people innately want to be well. We want to have the energy. We want to be able to do the things we want to do and participate in life the way we want to participate.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of, and you're right. There aren't a lot of options out there for somebody to say, hey, you know what? I know what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Maybe let's shift a little and take a look at that and learn, what some better choices would be,
Yeah. And I think that's what's important is, like you said, there aren't a lot of choices right now when especially if you're looking at packaged goods that are widely available in stores. Like, people may want to be making the right decisions, but they don't have the ability to do that. And that's what we want to help change the conversation around, is like, convenience is paramount, especially everybody lives very, very busy lives. And in a perfect world, we would all make everything at home and not have to have any packaged goods or anything like that. I wish we all lived in that world, but we don't. So we want to have stuff where people are, when they are shopping and they're out trying to stop and get something quick, to make sure that it still fits within their routine and supports their wellness, as opposed to having to settle and take something away from it that is hurting their health in the long term. And that's, for us, the bigger long-term goal is to make wellness more accessible but also more democratized at a better price point, allow more people to be able to shop wherever they shop and get things that are good for their health, not just something that fits within their budget.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And not have to go to Whole Foods or
Yes.
wherever. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
like
right
you could
now.
stop at the Pilot on your road trip and
Exactly.
actually
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to like be a crazy lady like me and have like a cooler in the front with powders and like all this crazy stuff. Or people, if you got pulled over, the
100%.
cops would probably be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
My
Coolers
like
full
my
of,
glutamine powder, I'm always like, that one does look pretty sketchy. So I understand that one is a little questionable looking. I understand that. So yeah, we don't want everybody to totally like the biggest barrier to success for a lot of people, I think, is lack of time and not having convenient options. So I think for us, and I hope the wellness community as a whole, is making things that are convenient, are accessible for more people that really need it, because people that are able to make everything at home, are able to shop at Whole Foods all the time, are able to see functional medicine doctors and be able to pay for it, because a lot of insurance doesn't, aren't really the people that need the help. Everybody else who can't afford that or doesn't have those options are really the ones that we want to help in the long run. And that's our goal, is to really get there. For it's part of the conversation now. We want it to be a bigger part of the conversation for everybody.
Yeah, it's great. Your mission is fantastic. I also love that there's something out there where if I were, let's say, you're just in conversation with people and they kind of go, well, what can I do? That would be kind of a simple start, or something that, that I could incorporate. And it's nice to have something that I could point to say, especially someone who's doing the pot and half a coffee every day just to keep going, or, that's like their crutch. It's the thing that I'm holding on to, and just to be able to give them something else to say, hey, you know what? And, oh, by the way, it's not going to break the bank. You're going to be able to do it. I think it's just fabulous.
I think it's that goes really like hand in hand with what we're trying to do too, as far as like, we're trying to, because functional medicine is so tricky right now because insurance isn't covering anything.
Yeah.
And we,
Well, I just want to correct. It's less that, just from a provider standpoint here, it's less that insurance won't cover it.
Yeah.
It's that as a provider, I'm not going through insurance, because they're going to tell me how I'm going to deal with my patient.
Yeah.
Right? No, thank you.
Yeah. Right. And then, and that comes all of the bad things of conventional medicine.
Yeah,
but I think too, like, that's one of the reasons we've been trying to move more towards group programming too, because like, it's great, one-on-one's great, but a lot of people can't afford that just based on everything. And it's like, we just trying to figure out how we can reach more people with a similar, with the message, with the help.
So it's tough. Like it is, everybody running a business is always walking the line of
balance.
Balance of how you can run your business, but also support the community and what you're trying to accomplish with your mission. So I love that we have the opportunity to do things like this, where we can share more online, and hopefully that gets more people to be able to have access to this information and be able to, even if they never purchase a Dash or purchase anything, if they got something out of this about adaptogens, or looking at their hormonal health and looking at ways that they can start improving their health without spending any money, that is my goal for everybody, is just finding a way to improve their health and make small changes every day. And if we're part of that as a way that makes it more convenient, that is amazing. But if you just take something out of this and you can find something new that is going to help you, I'm so happy that we could join and share a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, is that before we sign off, is there anything super exciting as far as future projects on the horizon that you want to talk about?
So we have a bunch of really exciting stuff. So we've been working, and we're pretty transparent. We're probably too transparent a lot of times when it comes to companies, but our community is the most important to us. So we always like to share and get feedback on everything that we're doing. So we do have a second product coming out very soon. We're running production in the next couple, we'll say 60 days, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, that is our second cold brew coffee. It is infused with cordyceps. So another adaptogen, but in the medicinal mushroom family. So different use case, supporting energy, something that you can use as well as ashwagandha and incorporate into and make yourself feel better, have better cognitive function, better performance when it comes to exercise, and just overall boost your energy. So that one we're super excited about. Look out for that. If you're not part of our text club or on our email subscription or like sign up on that, go to our website. It will keep you updated on everything of that.
Yeah. And I'll put that info in the when I share the video.
Awesome. So and then the second one is we have a line of adaptogenic lattes now. They are barista quality lattes that are inspired to give you all the benefits at home. So 5 different products that we have there now, really simple. They're not the convenience grab and go of cans, but all you do is add a tablespoon to either hot water or hot milk, and you get a functional latte that you can make at home. So so those ones are really exciting. We're low on inventory. We're starting to run more production on those, but we have 2 different matchas that have different use cases and different adaptogens in them. And these are our products where we are blending some of the adaptogens as well. So there's multiple adaptogens that we're using in each product. We've got the lavender matcha. We've got a radiant matcha. We've got a beauty berry that's working with biotin, biotin enhancing benefits there. We also have a Zen cacao. So if you're a hot cocoa person, it is our healthy hot cocoa, 100% cacao base, no added sugar, with ashwagandha in it. And then my favorite personally is the golden immunity, which is a golden milk latte basically. So turmeric base activated with black pepper, cinnamon, and ginger. Coconut milk powder is the base. So really just delicious and tasty.
Okay, so are all those available right now, or
those are available on the website now under our Adapt collection. So if you're not following us on Instagram, go to our Instagram and the link is right there and it'll send you right to those ones. So those ones are brand new. We're very excited to share those and they should be available. We're just starting to look at retailers and wholesale for those too. So hopefully you'll find them at cafes and retailers around you pretty soon. But those are the big ones that we've just kind of started announcing. And if you are a hot coffee drinker, we do have one hot coffee that we do. We roast once a week and get fresh coffee out to people that is ashwagandha and cacao infused. So we've got kind of options all over the board. Wow. The big, most exciting one that's available right now are the adaptogenic latte powders. So if you're interested in those, especially if you're someone who's sticking away from caffeine, if you're a matcha person because you like the benefits of L-theanine and the way that it makes you feel, we've got those available. Yes. And then the other ones, the other 3 are non-caffeinated at all. So for us, coffee was a great way to start, but we do know a lot of people are trying to stay away from caffeine completely or want matcha or something that's a little bit lower caffeine. So those are available now. They come in a 20 serving jar. So check those out on the website if you're interested in learning about them.
I will get them all.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a full review. Yeah. I'll do a full review on here for anybody that's interested because they all sound amazing and that's like totally my jam right there.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. The labels are great. We're really excited about them because we think it's another really great option that people can have. The cans are really born, pre-pandemic, start of the pandemic, before everyone was on the road and outside and going to offices and everything all the time. Now that I guess the benefit to the pandemic is a lot of people are working from home now, either part-time or full-time, and our lives kind of have slowed down a little bit in that rat race of commuting all the time and all that. So now we have a lot of people that have the opportunity that can have them at home or have them daily at home. So this is a nice way for people who aren't having caffeine and want to experience a high quality latte at home. We have those available for you all now too.
I'm just kind of feeling giveaway here. I don't know what you're thinking, Kate.
Yeah.
I think we can definitely do that. I think that's a great idea. We can put something together.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that'd be really fun.
Yes.
Really fun.
So
I'm super happy.
Tell me about how we want to do it.
No, I'm super happy that you do. I was going to ask you that about the decaf kind of side of things because there are people that are super sensitive to it and 100%. Can't. So I'm really glad that you talked about those too as well as an option for people.
Yeah. So we strongly believe that everyone, like you said, caffeine is like alcohol or any sort of other drug that people use. Everybody metabolizes them differently. So caffeine for some people can have no effect at all. My cousin literally drinks a pot of coffee at like 9 p.m. and he can go to bed. Says he gets great sleep. I don't know if I really believe him, but he can drink an espresso at 10 p.m. and go to sleep 20 minutes later. Me, I try and not drink caffeine after like 2 p.m. just because I want to make sure that it is completely out of my system, and the 6-hour half-life is giving me enough time before bed. But we want to have those options for people, even if they do like caffeine in the morning and nothing in the afternoon, or are staying away from caffeine completely. We've got options for everybody now, which is what is important to us.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and then I did put in a code for you guys, for anyone that's joined today. So anything that you want to check on the website, the code is just She Health, and it's going to give you 15% off anything that you order on the website. I activated it before we hopped on the call. So if people want to head to drinkadash.com. If you're checking out and you put that in, the discount code will be automatically put on there for you to check out. And we do free local delivery in Nashville as well as Charleston. So anyone who's interested in trying from both those areas, we have free delivery available as well.
Amazing. I'll make sure I get all that info.
And I'll shoot it to you afterwards too.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. This has
been so amazing.
This has been really fun. Yeah, it's really great to be able to not just share the story, but really share more about adaptogens and educate people on the benefits, and be hopefully a educational source for people to really help improve their health.
Yeah.
Which is, I know, what you guys are doing.
Yeah, no. And I think, I really do. I think in a very short period of time, you very succinctly, gave people a lot of information, that I think they can take forward. So that was
Thank you. I like you said succinct, because sometimes I'm nerdy with it. I can go way, way overboard.
Me.
Yeah.
We always say we're better long format than short.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, long story short, but was it short? I'm not sure. That's usually when I need Megan. Megan's like, Kelly, there we go. That's good. You got it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Stop talking. Okay, good.
I get kicked. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The little nudge or the kick under the table. Like, we got it. Thanks. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everybody who joined. And thank you so much for having me on the platform. I'm honored to be able to share our story and share more about the company, and just so thankful for what you all are doing and helping not only women, but women and postpartum moms in particular help heal, because I think that is something that's been missing, and for me it was so difficult, and I'm just glad not everybody has to go through that and feel alone in that journey.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you.
Thank you, and then happy Thursday, everybody. Yeah. And I'll shoot you the details for everybody.
Perfect. Okay.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.